Okay. Yeah. So to publish in Tableau Public, just open Tableau Public. Go here. So if you are a new for Tableau Public, then you need to sign up. So as I have credentials already created, so I'm just signing in. So in sign up, it will normally ask for some basic registration details and all. So I'm just logging in here. Okay, so I logged into the site. Okay, so you need to go to this my profile and take this link to publish to the server, Tableau public server. So let's say now I have this data. So whenever you want to publish, so you will be able to publish only when it is in extract. So just right click on this data source and do an extract. Okay, so why we are doing an extract is, so in live, you won't be able to have the data attached to this file. So when you do an extract, so what happens is the data will be attached to this file. So, so let me create some chart so that I can publish that subcategory. I'll create a tree map. And I'll put this in dashboard and put some title. Okay, assignment 1, something like this. Okay, so to publish, I'll go to server and just click on sign in, public.tableau.com. So here it will ask for the same credentials which you have used before to log into Tableau Public. So it's already signed in for me. So it took my name already. So normally what happens is when you click on sign in server, it will ask for username and password. So when you enter that, you will see your name at the right bottom. Okay. And now I want to publish this workbook. So click on publish workbook and you can name the workbook name. So click on save. Okay, so now it is published to Tableau Public. So you can view the dashboard that you have created in the server. So here in Tableau Public, we will not be able to have the flexibility to restrict the information. Let's say you now you have published. So whoever has this link, so they will be able to see the data or see the dashboard. So we can't restrict the people who want to see this dashboard. So if you share this link with anybody, so you can view the dashboard. So in the same way, publish your work to the Tableau Public and share me this link. Hi Sandeep. Hi. Have you installed Tableau on your PC? Okay. 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 So I have just shown how to publish your work to the Tableau server. Uh, so you just need to click on this server and click on publish workbook. So I will share you this video also. So if we click on save, so it will be published to the Tableau public website. And whoever has the link, so they will be able to see this dashboard. So once you publish this to the Tableau public, share the link with me in WhatsApp. so that I will verify your dashboards. Okay, so now we will start Tableau session 5. So in this, mostly we are going to discuss about extensions in Tableau. So what are the extensions that are available? And we are going to see few of the calculations on how to write and what type of calculations that we can write in Tableau. So the learning objectives are the types of extensions in Tableau. So there are multiple types of extensions like TWB, TWBX, TDS, and TDSX. So those all extensions we are going to see, and what is the usage of those extensions. And we will be able to, in this session, we are going to discuss about how to use the calculation, how to create the calculations and all, and what type of calculations which are there. So in this session, so I'm just going to give a brief about how to use the calculations. And so there are certain functions which are available, like 30 to 40 functions, which we mostly use in Tableau. So for each and every function, there is a slide and explain you how to use those functions in the real time. So these three are about how to use the calculations and all. So yeah, so extensions. So TWB. So TWB is nothing but Tableau workbook dot TWB. It's a Tableau workbook extension. So to save the file, to save the Tableau workbook, basically there are two extensions. One is TWB and the other one is TWBX format. So TWB is the full form of TWB is nothing but Tableau workbook, and it stores only visualization. So when I say visualization, so if you take the example of this one, so it will have the visualization only. So whenever you send the file with TWB format, people will not see anything. Why? Because they don't have access to the data, so they won't see anything. So until unless you have data attached, then only you will be able to see. So, okay. So let's say we have 10,000 records. So if we don't have any records at all, so then you won't see anything in this. So it will have the visualization. So if you send the file to anybody, so they will be able to see nothing. And whenever they have connected to any file, then they will be able to see. So data is not attached to the TWB format. In TWBX format, Tableau workbook extract. So this is also called as a packaged workbook. So why do we call this as a packaged workbook? So this will contain data, visualization, plus images, plus color palettes. So all the information will be stored in this packaged workbook. So everything will get stored. So whenever you want to send the file, so usually we in our organization will share the link, or people will have the access to the servers. So they will open their server and they will be able to see it. So in the earlier, let's say, if I want to share anything, I will share the link. But in some cases, you want to share the Tableau file itself, like Tableau workbook. So you should be sending it in these two formats, TWB or TWBX. So depending on whether they have access to data, if they have access to data, then you can send it in TWB. If they don't have access to data, then you should send it in TWBX format. So let me save this file, TWBX. Okay, so now it is saved in TWBX format. So let's go to So this here in the type, you can see Tableau packaged workbook. So it's nothing but, so it will include data visualization, images, and color palettes. So now let me save this file in a different format. Save as. Now I'll select TWB. Yeah. So now let's go back to the file. Yeah. So here it shows only Tableau workbook. So it will have only the visualization. So if you send this file to the user, so you will not be able to see any information in that unless they have access to the data. And if you see, the icon is also different. So extract is shown with a bar inside that logo. So that is about TWB and TWBX. So workbooks holds one or more worksheets plus 0 or more dashboards in it. So in case of packaged workbook, so it's a single zip file that contains a workbook with some local file data and some background images. So this format is the best way to package your work to sharing with others. So this is the most important extensions to share with others. And now we have one more extension, which is TBM. .tbm, Tableau bookmark. So in general, we will have multiple dashboards that we create in the real time. So I'll just open one of the sample Superstore charts which are provided by Tableau. So I'll just click on the dashboard. So in general, we'll prepare multiple dashboards, and sometimes from those multiple dashboards, if you want to pick any one sheet, so these many sheets are there in our workbook. So now I want to pick only this chart. So I'll go into this worksheet and click on window and bookmark this worksheet. So clear bookmark, and I'll put it in exercises session 5. Okay, so now I have saved that TBM, and so let's open that TBM file. So now that will have only one worksheet. So now double click on this. So this icon of that particular TBM is also different, and you can see the type as Tableau bookmark. So that will open with only one worksheet in it. So in normal workbook, we have these many worksheets, but I don't want to see all the worksheets, but the other worksheets. See, session 5 assignment, it has only one worksheet in it. So if you want to bookmark anything from the hundreds of dashboards or hundreds of worksheets, then you can pick one particular worksheet as a bookmark. So that is the importance of bookmark. So quickly, if you want to share one single worksheet, so that's the reason we use this bookmark. And types of extensions. So we also have .tde, .tds, .tdsx. So now let's discuss about .tde, .hyper. So this is the older version, which was there before 10.5. Before 10.5. So this is called as a Tableau data extract. Even this is a Tableau data extract. This is also called as a Tableau data extract, but this is a newer version after 10.5, which is 3 times faster than the .tde. Okay, so whenever we create an extract file, let's say if I go here, so right click on this data source and extract data and click on extract. So you will be creating a hyperformat file. So that will be shown as Tableau extract. So you can see the extension here, Tableau extract, that hyper. So this will hold the data. So this will have the information of data. So this will show you the data. So whatever is there at that point of time. Let's say if you have 100 records at this point of time, those 100 records will be stored in the extract. And we have one more file, .tds and .tdsx. .tds is Tableau data source. .tdsx, Tableau data source extract. Okay, so basically this stores connection details in it. And .tdsx, connection details plus the data. So when I say connection details, I will show you how it stores the connection details. So let's say if I'm connecting to any Excel file. So I'm connecting to book one. Click on this. Okay, so when I go edit data source, so click on edit connection. So this is showing me the details of the workbook where it is. So we need to know the difference between dot hyper and dot tdsx. Dot tdsx. In both cases, we will have data. In both cases, we will have data. Hyper will not store connection details. Only .tdsx will have connection details. So let's do an extract. So I'll show you why Hyper won't show any connection details. I will just go here. Yeah. So let's open this file. This is in Hyper format. And let's create .tds, .tdsx. So to create .tdsx, so you need to click on add to save data sources. So click on add to save data sources. And save it. Okay, so now let's see the difference. So now here we have the Tableau extract file, which is nothing but the hyper file. So click on this and click on edit connection. So this will go to the hyper file location, but it is not taking you to the Excel file location. So that means it is not storing any connection details. So dot hyper will not store any connection details. But it only stores data. So let's open .tdsx file now. .tdsx, yeah, Tableau data source. So let's double click on this. So Tableau data source will show us the Excel location where it is, and it will also have the data in it. So now let's see. Yeah, so we have the data. So if you see, we can see the data, and let's click on edit data source. and click on edit connection. See, you can still see the location of the file. That means connection details will get stored in that .tdsx connection details. Yeah. So while connecting to the Oracle or SQL, there also it will store the connection details. So when I say connection details, it will show you server name and all, server name, host name, all this information, and you will have username also, but not the password. Okay, so it will store all this information, username, host name, server name, table name and all you can see. If you store it in the .tdsx connection. In case of .tds, what happens is it will show the connection details, but it will not store the data until unless you have access to the file or you have access to the server, then only you will be able to see the file. So it's better you share the file with .tdsx format. So that's about these three extensions, .tde, .tds, and .tdsx. Okay, so depending on the version, the extract was created in. Tableau extract files can have either .hyper or .tde file extension. So this was the older one. So extract files are a local copy or subset of the entire data. So in the entire data, whatever we took at that point of time, that will be stored in the hyper extension. And .tds, so it's a Tableau data source file, and it stores to quickly connect to the original data because it stores the connection details. In case of package data source, it will store the data as well as the connection information. Okay, so before going to the next slides, Sandeep, can you tell me what is the importance of .tbm? Okay, yeah, correct. Raviteja, can you tell me what we do with .twbx and why do we store in that format? Yeah, yeah, color palettes, yeah. Mhm. Yeah, correct. Yeah. Meena, can you tell me why do we use .tdsx? I mean, can you tell me the difference between .tdsx and .hyper? Hello, Meenakshi, can you tell me the difference between .hyper and .tdsx? Can you hear us? Okay. Suganya, can you tell the difference between .hyper and .tdsx? Yeah, correct. Okay. Lakshmi, can you tell me the importance of dot hyper? Hello, Lakshmi, can you hear us? Okay. Let's go to the next slides where we can create calculation fields in Tableau. So, so these are the main importance of the calculations. To segment the data, we use it. To convert the data type of a field from one to other one. Let's say if you have date or if you have string values, you can convert that to date. Or if you are getting some numbers, let's say employee ID and all, you will get as a number that you want to convert into dimensions. So in such cases, we use calculation fields, and you can change the aggregations. You can do some of the transformations in Tableau. Okay, so now let's do some of the calculations. So the data you need for your analysis, which is missing from the data source. So those calculations that we do. Let's say in an usual data, we get sales and we get profit. So if you want to calculate the difference between two measures, so you can calculate it with the using calculations. So let's create a calculation field, difference between sales and profit. Okay, sum of sales minus sum of profit. So now let's take subcategory sales profit and difference between sales and profit. Okay, so in this way we can see the difference between two measures. So this is basically a small calculation where you want to find the difference between two different measures. So sum is mandatory. I mean, aggregation. You need to have some aggregation. So you need to, let's say, so it will sum up the data till sales and I mean for the accessories, and it will sum up the profit for accessories, and then it will do the aggregation, or then it will do the mathematical operation. So in that way, it will calculate the difference. And when you want to do some of the transformations, for example, calculate the difference in profit from one year to the other, you can use a quick table calculation to show the difference in profit. Okay, so let's go to the, so let's take order date. हाँ रवि जी. Okay. జూమ్ చేయడానికి ఉండదు, పీపీటీని జూమ్ చేయడానికి వస్తుంది కానీ యాక్చువల్లీ ఈ నా స్క్రీన్ వచ్చేసి చాలా పెద్దగా ఉంటుంది, అందుకే అట్లా కనిపిస్తుంది. ఓకే. Okay, so where we are, okay, let's take order date. Let's take an order date and make this as month, and let's take sales. And I want to see it in a tabular information. And I will create one more Tableau, sales one. So just do a quick table calculation. Say let's take running total and take sales. Okay. So this is one of the running table calculations, or we can call it as a quick table calculation. So you just need to right click on this and do a quick table calculation. So this is the normal sales values, and you can calculate the sum. So in February, January, February will get added up. In March, January, February, March will get added up. In the end, you will have the total sum of sales. So this is to monitor whether we are trending up or trending down from previous sales, so that we can compare with the current sales with the running sales. So running sales is nothing but keep on adding the month's data. So this is one type of calculations that we can do. So we have separate sessions for each and every calculation. So we will be getting to know about how this quick table calculation works. So this is like brief introduction of how we create calculations. And now let's see how to categorize the data. So this is one of the example to categorize the data. Okay, so this is two. So now let's take subcategory. So instead of sales, now we'll take profit. So I'll just make a bar chart and I'll sort it. Click on create calculated field and paste the formula. Okay, sum of profit is greater than 0, then profitable. So that means if you are getting 1 rupee profit also, then that means we are getting profit. So that's why it is profitable, and else non-profitable. So this is to categorize the data. So I want to categorize the subcategories. How so whether it is profitable or non-profitable. So I want to identify. So let's click on this. Why is it giving a bad character? Okay. So categorize the profit. So let's put this in color. Okay. So we can identify with green and red colors. Okay. So subcategories which are in green color are profitable, which are in red color are non-profitable. So that way we can create the categorization. And the next one, the type of calculations. So in Tableau, we have three different varieties of calculations. So one is basic calculations. So basic calculations, let's say the sum of profit that we have created just now. So these are basic calculations, categorizing the data. So this is basic calculations. If you use if else statements or case statements, or you are directly writing the difference. So these are some basic calculations. And we have LODs. So LODs are level of detail calculations. So these are very important to create advanced level of charts. So in this LOD expressions, so there are mainly three functions: include, exclude, and fixed. So with these three functions, we will create advanced level of charts. So we will discuss, so there is a separate session for LODs. We will discuss this in the coming sessions. And table calculations. So this is, we just need to click on the quick table calculation and we can create as per our requirement. Sometimes users want to see the running sales, running sum of sales, where he want to add the previous values to the current months. So likewise, so we can create for different uh, table calculations. So we can do difference between the current one to the previous ones. Let's say you can find the January month sales with the February month sales. So if you do the difference between these two values, you will get the February value here. In the same way, if you want to see the March value, if you find 56,000 minus 4,520, you will get this 52,414. So that's how we can create quick table calculations. And now let's create a basic calculations. So we'll go one by one. Like, so we'll learn basic calculations in the starting. So in basic calculations, we have these many functions. We have these many functions which are available. So not all the functions we are going to see. There are only 30, 40 functions which we mainly use. So I will tell you how to use those 30, 40 functions in real time. And after that, we'll go for LOD expressions. And then we'll go for table calculations. So now let's see the basic calculations. Okay, so here they have written a calculation. If sales is not equal to 0, then discount divided by sales. Otherwise, they want to display 0. So they have written one condition. So if sales is not equal to 0, so why they have written this condition is, so not only in Tableau, in general, in any database or in any reporting tool. So if you get divided by 0, so you won't, that will throw an error. So basically dividing something with 0, you won't get any value. So that will be an error in any data source or in any Tableau or reporting tools. So that is the reason they have created, they have written a condition like if sales is not equal to 0. So now let's see how to create this in Tableau. So if sales is not equal to 0, then sum of sales not equal to 0, then sum of discount divided by sum of sales. Else 0 end. Click on this and use this in the calculation. Put this in the measure values. So as it is a division, you click on format, go to numbers and click on percentage. Okay, so this is the percentage rate. So this is basically a discount ratio. So discount ratio, we need to compare with the sales. So that's the reason we use this calculation. And now let's go to representing the calculations in worksheets. So let's create this chart. So to see this is a tabular view. So to create this tabular view, we need to keep category and subcategory in rows shelf and region in the column shelf. So region values are shown in the columns and category and subcategories are shown in the rows. So now let's create the same thing. Create a new worksheet, category, subcategory, and we have region. Okay, so we have region, category, and subcategory. And now let's create okay, so we have created discount ratio. So now let's see discount ratio across category, subcategory, and the region. Discount ratio. Let's name it. So right click on this and just name it as discount ratio. So use this in the color. Okay. So with this visualization, we will be able to know fastness central region has the highest discount ratio. And there are some other places it is highlighted in. The intensity of color is more in some places where it shows us the discount ratio is more in such places. So that's how we can create calculations. So that is the representation on, so we can change the aggregations as well. So you just need to right click on this or you can do aggregation. So if you don't put the aggregations, so if you are using aggregation, you need to use for all the measures that you use. Otherwise, you will get an error like you cannot mix aggregate and non-aggregate. So if you are not using any aggregation functions, remove it for everyone, every measure. Okay, so let's save it. Keep this again. Okay, now it is doing the discount ratio as sum. And later if you want to change, make it average. So in this way, we can change the aggregation also. So in the calculations also, so there are many aggregation functions. So if you click on this, you can see some. So you can directly write that sum function here itself. So these are the functions which are available. Sum, min, max, average. So all these functions are available. So based on this, based on the requirement, we can make use of these functions. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. Yeah, I got your question. Okay. So, okay. So we have a concept called KPI, this key performance indicator. Key performance indicator. So this is nothing but, so normally it can be a field from your data source. Let's say sales. So that is directly available so that you are using it as a key performance indicator. So in some cases, what happens is key performance indicator might be some calculation. Let's say users will give you requirement. So in this case, discount ratio is there, right? So edit on this. So this is your requirement. Okay, and I'm naming this as discount ratio. Okay. So then this becomes my KPI. So based on this, I will decide whether my business is performing good or not. So now I will not worry about what are the values inside this calculation. So whether I want to see discount again, that you can see in a different chart. So the main agenda of this worksheet at this time is to show this KPI, discount ratio. So now this is called as a discount ratio as a KPI. Why? Because with that, I'm telling that so subcategory binders in central region has the highest discount ratio. So, so that will be based on the requirement. So in this case, I don't want to see sales. So for sales, I might be creating another worksheet, or you can put sales value also here. That will come under your requirement, but still it will show coloring the intensity of color based on the discount ratio. Okay, is it clear? Yeah, no problem. Okay, so that is one of the method, and so we also can create different calculation. If sales is greater than 2000, then discount divided by sales. So we can write multiple calculations like that. So let me show you one more calculation. So let's take region. Okay. And okay, so I can write calculation, right? If region equal to central, I want to change the name of that particular region. Then center or something like that. I want to change it to center. Else I want to see region as it is. So these are some of the basic calculations. Basic one. So I'll use that calculation. Okay. So rest all are as it is. East is east, south is south, and west is west. Only central I have changed it to center. So in that way, we can write multiple calculations. So let's take an example of customer name. We have lot many names in customer. So I want to, uh, if customer name, there is a function called starts with. Customer name starts with a, then I'll name it as starts with a. Else I want to see customer names only. So this is also one of the basic calculations. So sometimes you get such requirement also, like, but not starts with a. So to show some example, I have just written like this. So I'll use this basic too. Okay. So wherever there are names which are starting with A, so you see a different name. Yeah. And from Barbara Fisher, it starts with B. So there you can see without any change, you can see their names only. Yeah. So in such way, so there are multiple functions which are available. So these many functions which are available. So based on our requirement, we make use of those functions. So in the next session, we will be seeing for each and every function usage and how to fit it in the worksheet and all. Okay, so let me ask you a few questions. Okay, so why do we use calculation fields? Sandeep, can you tell me why do we use calculation fields and what is the change that we can make with calculation fields? Hello? Suganya, can you tell me why do we use calculation fields? Yeah, perfect. Okay, so earlier sessions we have discussed about top and bottom end sales. I'll just create that top and bottom end sales now. So let's take customer name as we have few more minutes time. So I'll just show you. So let's take sales. Okay, I'll just sort it uh, like this. And we have created sets on top of this. So just right click on customer name, create set and go to top, click on top. Okay, so uh, in yesterday's session, we have manually entered the value as 5. So, but now I don't want to manually enter. I want to create a parameter. So in parameter, I want to select the top value. So top value, the minimum value will be 1 and then the maximum is 100. The current value that is selected is 5. Say okay. Say okay. So this is top end set. And let me make a duplicate of this one. So create a duplicate and select edit set. Go to here and click on bottom and select a new parameter I want to create for bottom as well. Select bottom end. And here the value will be 5. Here the value will be 5. Yeah. Say okay. And name this as bottom end set. And I will combine these two sets, bottom end set. Control select the sets and right click on that and create a combined set and name it as bot top and bottom end set. Okay, so now just put this top and bottom end set in the filter. Okay, and show the parameters. Select top value, show parameter, select the bottom value. Okay, so in both the parameters, it is shown as in 5 is selected in both the parameters. So that's why you are able to see top 5 and bottom 5. And I want to enter type in. So to just click on type in so that you can enter the value. So now I want to see top 7 and click on enter. And here also I want to see top bottom 7. Okay, so you will have 7 customer names which are in top and 7 customer names which are in bottom. So in this way, we can make it so dynamic so that user can select this value or whichever one he want to see, top or bottom that he want to select. So in that way, he will be able to see the data also. So this is to create top and bottom end sets. So this can be the interview question. So most asked in the interview questions. So how to create top and bottom sets using sets. And in the next session, I will tell you how to create using calculation fields. So that is also important question asked in the interview, how to create top and bottom end using calculation fields. So now we have created this using sets. So by using sets concept, we have created this chart, but there is a way where we can create with calculation fields. So in the next session, we will discuss about how to create that in a calculation field. Okay, so with that, we'll end up this session. So do you guys have any questions in this session? Yeah, sure. Okay. So yeah, let me create in another data source. I'm going to a new sheet. So let's put customer name, sales, and I'll take the bar chart and I'll sort it. So right click on the customer name and create set. Click on top and by field. And here you select the new parameter, top end parameter, or select top end. Say okay. Yeah. So instead of parameter, you can enter value, but so that user can't change that value. So if you enter any value manually here, let's say if I have entered and saved this set, so that will be restricted only to that value. So user can't change that value. So I want user to change. So for that, I need to create a parameter. So I have created a parameter which is select top value. Yeah. So they can enter the value they want to enter. So that is, so this is top end set and click OK. So there are two ways you can create a bottom end set. You can just right click on customer name and you can create, or else just do a duplicate of this one and edit this set and name this as bottom end set. And here you select bottom. And for bottom also, you need to create a set, sorry, parameter. So which is already created, or we can create a new one. Select bottom values. And I want the current value as 5. Say okay. So now we have two sets, bottom end and top end set. So just control select two sets and right click on that, and you will be able to see create combined set and name this as top and bottom end set. Okay. After that, you can put this in the filter. So now you will be able to see based on the values that we use. And here you need to select type in, otherwise you will have this toggle, like you need to scroll. So instead of that, put type in so that you can enter whatever value you want to. So just click on 5. Okay, I want to see like 10. I will enter top bottom 10. So bottom 10 values I can see, and top 10 values I can see. So in this way, I can give access to the user. So These are not only for developers. So if you create parameters, so then user also can interact with the number of top values that he want to see, or number of bottom values that they want to see. So, or if you normally enter any value manually, let's say 5. So user can't change this value. Why? Because we are entering it in a set, and user will not be able to access sets in the visualization. So they will be able to access whatever is there in this area, or they will be like, they will not even have access to the worksheets as well. So we just put in everything in the dashboard. So whatever we create, we put it in the dashboard, and we hide the worksheets. Click on this and hide all worksheets. We put everything. So we delete the unnecessary worksheets. Right click on this and hide all sheets. So users will not even see the worksheets. So they will see only the dashboard. So let's say I have published this workbook. So this is the way they can see the worksheets. So there are 3 worksheets in this. So they will not even have the access to go into the worksheet and see how that is created. So they will just see this user interface. So if they want to see the parameters, so then we will give access to the parameters. So let's say if I enter it here, so let me remove these worksheets. Okay, so this interface where user can access, I'll just enter it here. Yeah, so they can enter it in the worksheet also, like in the Tableau server as well. So here it will appear the parameters and all. Okay, is it clear? Okay, any other questions? Yeah, Ritesh. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so first you need to log into Tableau Public. So you need to get the credentials of Tableau Public. So just go to Tableau Public and click on here. So I'll just open an incognito window so that incognito Tableau Public. Click here. So sign up for Tableau Public. Okay, you enter all these details and all. Okay, so after entering, you will be able to log in like this. Okay, and copy this part, this public.tableau.com. Copy this part and go to the dashboard, go to server. So okay, let me sign out, log in again. So when you click on sign in, right? So here you need to copy paste that public.tableau.com. Okay, and click on connect. So here it will ask for credentials. As I've already entered, so it is logging in directly. So for you, it will ask for credentials, and you need to log in with your username and password. So where we create here, right? let's say the emails that you enter here. So yeah, Tableau public login credentials. You can use that password and you can log in. So once that is ready, go to server and publish workbook. So you will get this error because if something is in live connection, you can't publish the dashboard. So just do an extract, right click on that and click on extract and save it. Yeah, dot hyperfile. So you need to have this double cylinder, then only you can publish the workbook. Otherwise you can't publish. In Tableau Public, that is the case. In normal, in organization or in real time, you will be able to publish with single cylinder or live connection also you can publish. Why? Because Tableau Public will not have access to our data. So that's the reason we need to attach that data to the workbook and then publish. So click on this, publish workbook. So here you can name your dashboard with which name you want to publish. So I will name it as uh, top and bottom set. Bottom set it. Okay, I'll save this file. So this will be published to Tableau Public and you will get the URL also. So this is taking some time. So once it is published, you send me this link. Let's say this, okay, it got published. So, okay, this will be published in your profile and send me this link in WhatsApp. So once it is published. So create your own chats and if you have any questions or you can ask me in WhatsApp or you can ping me directly. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. So with that, we'll wrap up this session. So we'll continue in the tomorrow's session. Thank you. Thank you all for joining. Yeah, yeah. I'll send it. Yeah. I'll ping you separately. Yeah.